Did you feel like heaven? Did you ring like silver in the wasted light? Still, I'm trying to find. Did you sink through the battle cold? Did you ring like silver in the wasted light? Still, I'm trying to find. Saw it beneath your eyes.
Hello, Heroclix land, and welcome back to Talkn Clix. As always, I'm your host, Wespool. Joined with me is my faithful co-host, Scott, son of John. Hello, Scott.
Take three. I'm good.
So for my listeners today, I am on my third take of trying to get this straight, and I keep screwing things up. So let's hope this take takes. Who we got tonight?
Tonight we got Mr. Miguel Silva, fellowship winner at the H4H event and the teams event with his brother and some random dude they met.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Our teammate member was really great. He was fun. We went with his strategy. He built all three teams, and he gave my brother the collector team. I chose Dark Side with one shot on the side of it, and it worked pretty well. We made top 16. The team name was called The Stand. And overall, it was fun. Howard Brock, Aaron, Lucas, all the staff, even Scott Porter, they're all great people. And I enjoy going to H4H yearly. And I have family there, so it's good to see family too.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So what'd you win for fellowship?
A lot of stuff. Autocon exclusives, even the Bibles, factory sets of Smash and Destroy, 2, and 1 of Spider-Verse. We split the Spider-Verse factory set and gave my third teammate his own full factory set of Smash and Destroy. And me and my brother have Smash and Destroy for us.
So what do you think set you apart as a team that helped you win fellowship?
No, we just played for fun. We weren't trying to murder people and have a killer instinct when it comes to the game. This is a charity event, but it's also a main tournament. So I took it, and my brother plays for fun. I want him to go to an event that he enjoys himself and not be preyed on by experienced players that just want to get massive points and not care about anybody else's feelings.
Well, that's awesome. That's primarily what this is about. It's a game. We're all supposed to have fun, laugh, just have a relaxing time. Yes, there are prizes involved, but fellowship and community is primarily what this game is about, and especially at that particular event, Scott Porter is all about fellowship and community and family. He's the Vin Diesel of Heroclix.
True, he used to play at our venue many years ago when he lived in New York, Kings Games. So
Nice.
I
Thank you
known
for
him
shouting out.
for many years. Huh?
Thank you for shouting out your venue and your location because that's on my questionnaire.
Yeah, the old judge was Mac McCall, the world champion for Team Sealed at Worlds 2024 or 2023. So I learned a lot from him, even when he ends up beating the living crap out of me with some 30 or 40-point figures strategies that were very enlightening. So I got him to thank for making me into the player I am. Try to learn, try to improve. I always
So
got my butt kicked more than winning.
There's no losses in Heroclix. You have winning or learning. There's no losses.
Right.
That's right.
No, the loss helps you learn. It
Absolutely. That's why I
always,
call it learning. You learn that that piece didn't do what you thought it was going to do, or that combination didn't do what you wanted it to.
So,
yeah.
how long you been playing?
No, I've been playing since the very first set
Oh wow.
when uniques were considered
Races.
the super rares or the chases. Like back then, we all thought Thanos on the flight base was the most horrible figure they ever made. And then they make him into a legacy card, and then he became godly and a figure that just ends up saying, "Hey, I can see you no matter where you are on the board, and I will gladly mind control you and make you do my bidding," is the thing that pissed people off. Then he got neutered, and then they brought him back to full power, but nobody uses him.
He gets used. Oh man,
Not
Gorman
in New
slash Mike
York.
SQ. Mike SQ won. He placed in Arizona States with that Legacy Thanos. So former guest Mike SQ.
Dan Powell
Oh,
loves
that's
that
cool.
figure.
He's a good figure. All right, so I posted earlier. I guess it was yesterday on Facebook that we were going to have you in the hot seat today. I was trying to get a few questions for you. Uh, Leonardo, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, sir. But what's your favorite flavor of ice cream, gelato, or sorbet?
Well,
You only get one.
I, gelato, blue bunny, chocolate, and mint.
Wes, do you have a lot of gelato where y'all are at in Indiana?
Um, my daughter has had it. I don't know where, but yeah, I think in the city, like big cities and stuff, they have that those fancy places. I'm a very simple like vanilla ice cream, steak dinner, steak and potatoes kind of guy. So my daughter loves all that fancy sushi and stuff.
Do you need candlelight for your dinner?
Yeah.
All right. McConnell Lamar also questions. He sent a couple of questions. Hey, Miguel. I hope you and James are doing well. James is your brother?
Yeah, James is my brother.
All right.
He used to be my judge in Kings games.
Cool. He asks, will you be at Worlds this year?
I won't be at Worlds because H4H burns up a lot of money, and it's hard to go to event after event in a month or a few weeks. It's impossible. And I love to go to New York Comic Con. So I always save up the little extra money I get for New York Comic Con.
Understandable. What is your favorite HeroClix format?
Silver.
Okay. Why do you like silver more than modern?
Oh, because silver, you're not restricted. You can be more creative with teams, and you don't go by a list of what's out that you can use. And you can go back to old equipment. You can play the rings. You can even go back to the old batteries if you really wanted to use them.
That would be golden. The old batteries are not silver.
Hopefully, but now
I
since
mean, now
they're
they will be.
so
He was also asking what is your pricing for H4H Fellowship win, but we've already touched base on that, I believe.
yeah, yeah, it was a lot of
One,
stuff.
take two. I don't know when we touched on it, but you had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and we also got the maps, the maps that Lucas designed, Phoenix Nest.
You're gonna get to
We
make one of
got
these things.
oh, we're going to be making a legacy card. We just don't know which figures or which character is going to be available. And I'm already been working on a special new probability type power to give the game a little more life and interesting circumstances. So one
You're
of the
gonna redo Eddie
prototype,
Guerrero?
no, as good as Eddie Guerrero was, he's still a legend. But probability is a big part of the game, and making a reroll is always good. But there's times that you want your opponent to not have it as easy. So the probability I'm working on will give you a -1 or -2 to your attack roll if you're probbed again. So I figured that way it just makes the game a little more fun and a little more harder
Good luck
for
getting that by
everything.
Wizkids.
Yeah, hopefully, because
That's that's it for my online questions here. I
All
don't know if
right.
we have any on Discord. I haven't checked
I
it yet.
got a few on my side here. Anthony Robnett, one of our most recent guests of the show, asks, "There are a lot of good movies coming out in July. What movie is your are you most excited for, and why is it Superman?"
Oh, I love Superman. Don't get me wrong, but I'm really looking forward to Fantastic Four. I want to see how good. I've seen every Fantastic Four movie they ever made, and they were all horrible. I'm hoping this breaks that streak.
It can't be horrible if they've made sequels.
Yes, it can.
Well, huh?
Yes, it
Oh,
can.
you talking about Deadpool?
Oh,
No,
shots
Oh,
fired.
stab, stab, stab.
Oh,
no. Deadpool was great, but I'm saying if you saw the original, the very
Yeah,
first Fantastic Four movie, then all the incarnations years after that, story wise, it never made sense. And a lot of it could have been way better.
look, I thought the first one was decent, but it went downhill fairly quick.
yeah.
You know?
Deadpool was good. I enjoyed Deadpool. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave that hanging out there, Wes. I enjoyed the Deadpool movies.
Anthony also
Well,
asks, "What do you like better, Marvel or DC, and why?"
I always grew up with Marvel, but I love DC a little more because a lot of the characters are more in depth compared to Marvel. Like Superman, if you see what Superman really is, he's what everybody calls the golden boy. He's noble, and over the years, they changed Superman to a way that he was a villain, he was your friend, he's your enemy. So it really depends. Like Batman, how many years we had a guy that says Batman is the real him, wearing a mask, and Bruce Wayne is just a persona. You got Hal Jordan, who's reckless, doesn't like authority, but he does things his way. You have Wonder Woman, who is a brute, will beat the hell out of someone, but she has a heart, but she's still learning the world from being isolated. So,
She's been around forever. She should already have this down. Sorry, I'm just
true.
punching holes in people.
No, I know.
Today's my day to punch holes in people, I guess. All right, I have another question for you. I mean, I've been on your Facebook page and I've seen that you have a bunch of security shirt images, you and various people. Do you do security work or do you do other stuff as well?
Sometimes I do security work at comic shows. Sometimes it just depends. Like Big Apple Comic Con, that's always once a year in November. So usually I go there. DC has always been my favorite, and working comic book shows. Working comic book shows are always fun. You meet the artists who you enjoy watching or seeing them draw. I met Jim Lee multiple times, and I met Max Silvestri when he used to work for Marvel. I met Todd McFarlane. a lot of
Nice.
big names. So,
Sounds like it.
that's the
I mean,
fun thing about doing security work at shows. You
That's
even meet
awesome.
celebrities and take pictures with them.
That's awesome.
awesome.
Mark Bird wrote in all the way from Australia. He wants to know: are you most excited you've been to open a booster? Which set was it and why?
All right, it was the very old Trinity of Justice because that's when the first Starro Colossal was introduced, but you had to win them inside, pulling them inside a booster.
Oh,
So
that was
there
the
was a
right
Starro
after the
event.
Galactus tournament. Yeah, they
Yeah,
had the
this was
Starro right
before
after the
that.
Galactus.
So I bought a brick of that Justice League set. It was during a Starro tournament. Open the booster, and then I pull a big golden paper. And I was like, okay, why did I just pull a big golden paper? And all the players looked at me. I'm like,
You should go
really?
into Willy Wonka's factory.
That's what I say.
and and after that, I just did the tournament not worrying about winning Starro because I just pulled them, and I have both Starros. So it's like the very first Starro is way more powerful than the new one, and he can constantly heal. So he was like ridiculous.
He was ridiculous, and he looked really cool too.
Yep.
I had to win mine or buy mine. I don't know how I got one, but I know I got one.
Um,
Well, I pulled mine. That's the
So
best
since we're talking
pull.
about boosters, how do you open your booster?
Yeah, I just rip them open.
In the middle,
No, not middle. I just rip them open, the top, and
the top? Okay.
yeah.
I quit.
Neanderthals.
I quit.
Well,
He wants people to go through the Scott Porter version of cutting the top and being all excited. I'm like, no, you just push the tape on the bottom and you pull it open.
So
The
I
last few
watched
people are
the
just like, oh, we just rip it open.
now I watched the Dial H unboxing today, and Calder would get out this huge knife, this like army knife, and sliced open the top of the booster and open it the way you're supposed to. Ian just ripped it apart, just ripped the whole top off.
yeah, that's what I usually do. Just rip the
See,
top off, and
I
you're
really need to
fine.
do my video. God, I really need to do my video.
Um,
So much to do.
Mork Bird also wants to know: is there a comic or a theme for a set you would like to see released?
What I would really love to see released from Marvel would be Midnight Suns, a special set just on that. The
Has,
video game or the comic combine the two, and you have a really nice, interesting set.
has that ever
That's
been a
That'll blow
what
you
I
out of the
subset?
mean.
water. What's that?
Has it ever been a subset before?
No,
They've had figures with the Marvel Knights keyword, but not really a full subset of it.
Huh.
To me, the end all be all Marvel set would be Age of Apocalypse.
that would be a great set too.
I mean, they did some chases out of it, but no, just the whole set. The whole story was phenomenal. They can do so much out of that. Make a full set.
Yeah, Isaac's been abusing Angel with his X-Men bomb team for
So I've
silver.
read. So I've read. I don't understand how he gets him to last click right off the bat. I mean, he must be doing some X-Men heals and some terrain movement to get people to drop so he can heal, but I still don't see how he gets it that fast. Just looking at it.
I don't know. I don't know. It's like Black Queen. She was so terrifying when she explodes. She gives people 3 damage too.
Hmm.
I
Gamma
think.
bomb. I missed the gamma bomb.
Gamma bombs were fun. It made
So
people panic more.
that was before sidestep and invincible. So Wes, you missed a good mechanic in the gamma bomb. It's set out there. It had a 10-click dial. At the end of each player's turn, it would turn down one. Once per turn, per character, you could try and turn it. Excuse me, once per character, you could try and turn the gamma bomb off if they stood on it. and if they rolled a 4 or 5, it would click up 1 or 2. It had ways of clicking back up, but eventually it's going to go down. And we also had this little thing called red kryptonite in the game that said if you're trying to do a move action when you're within 4 of this thing, you're stuck and you get perplex. I would put my gamma bomb on the center of the map where it would affect my opponent's starting area and give me a little bit of breathing space because it had a range of 8.
Oh wow.
And I put the red kryptonite 4 squares away behind a wall. They couldn't just go and destroy it. And hopefully they get stuck on it because we didn't have sidestep. And then it would just blow up on their side of the map and kill everything or hurt everything for 3 damage.
True.
Crazy times. Now I would give up the 10 points for the red kryptonite and the 5 points for the gamma bomb or whatever it costs, but totally worth it if I'm hitting everything on their side for 3 damage.
True. Just like back then when the lanterns themselves were small objects and you put
Yes,
them on the field, and
they were
the
horrible.
hardest one to get was the Black Lantern one because that was an elite. I think
They were
back in the day.
they were all horrible.
Well,
What you got, Wes?
I want to get back to Mark's questions in a second, but I want to ask you guys something. This for both of you. Scott, have you seen the legacy cards for the batteries yet?
I seen the green one, and I think someone posted somewhere an indigo one. I know I seen the green one for sure because it's been in several of my group chats.
I guess they're almost identical to the way they used to operate. It's 40 points. It's on the map. Um, but my question is, so it's like 20 clicks long, I think. And but in today's meta or today's game in general, the maps are shorter. Alpha Strike is all over the place. You got at least 2 characters that can just drop your team right in the opponent's starting area. How viable are these batteries if like can they just be taken out that easily? Or
I mean, they have such a long dial,
yeah.
and I know that they're giving certain things invincible. I think I don't know if it's just the constructs or anything with a keyword. But they have, other than the dial length, you can just run over there and just start beating on it. But if I'm spending my attacks to take out 20 clicks of damage, it means I'm gonna get punched in the back of the head while I'm doing so.
That's true. What do you think, Miguel?
Well, out of now the lantern batteries, like the green one, shut your opponents down when it comes to free actions. So it says one free action. So it's very constrictive. And if I was facing someone with a battery like that, and you have Beetlejuice and a Wakanda Hulkbuster, nobody's going to do anything. So it really depends on strategy and what the team is and how fast can you knock it down.
Two
Because
tokens from the collector says you're done.
now you can shoot at them. Back then, you can't even
No,
destroy it.
no, you could destroy them. It just you had to chew through the dial.
Yeah, plus it's a colossal figure, so it's going to be super easy to see from anywhere.
True. But with short maps now, it like if you're playing the bunker, it can work for you or work against you. And on the bunker, J Major's map, it's not like you have a lot of areas to see clearly. You got only certain areas that you might be able to see. But if you're in the hallway blocking walls and trying to find ways of blocking sight, that's always a key factor as well.
I don't
So
know. I feel
it's,
like they've doubled their point value, so it's going to be harder to actually play them on the team. Um, I remember playing them back in the day. Superman, Legion of Superheroes, Chase, Lady of Malor would destroy your battery at the beginning of the game. She's like, "Oh, hey, let me take that ring off," and then your battery didn't work because you didn't
True,
have the ring on it.
true. But now, the way the game evolves and it's always changing, you can't always play the same way.
Oh, of
You
course.
know, like right now, the big thing is Spirit of Vengeance, Red Hall. and having four Thanoses on the side. You have the Beholder, and you're just being, go ahead, keep on hitting me. Every stop click, I'll pop a Thanos. Then you got a Thanos that can access all his powers.
So there's ways
Give you,
around this guy, though. I mean, you can nth metal him with a pulse bolt and the proper range, and he's taking a ton of damage because he won't have access to his stop clicks. Now, does he get to drop everybody? I don't know how the wording on that works because once the click is revealed, I'm passing it up, so I'm guessing they're all revealed at one time. Do I get everybody dropped
it's
on me?
more, it says one figure on it. So all the stop clicks are back to back to back. So if you hit one, he stops, you pop the figure right out from the sideline. And when you get hit again, you stop again. So you bring out another figure. So now you have two Thanoses
What if
that
I
can
burn through
choose.
them with nth metal and say you don't have their stop clicks? Are you gonna drop anybody if I kill you?
Well, if it says when this click is revealed, then for each click that there's a stop click that you're blowing by, as soon as that click is revealed, it would drop a figure.
Got him right here. Hold on. I just dropped it. Damn it.
Party
All
foul.
right. Yeah. Spirit of Vengeance. Stop when Spirit of Vengeance can't be healed. When this click is revealed, Spirit of Vengeance Red Hulk may generate one of the characters from chosen for the pilot on his last non KO click. This game generated characters can't be healed or replaced, blah, 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 blah. If I
So,
burn through all
because
four, is he just dropping one or is he dropping four?
it's one for
All
each.
four,
It's one for each
each
stop
He's going
click.
to
figure.
drop all four?
Yep.
And Primus only works on their turn. So if you're trying to do self-induced damage, then Primus can stop those pilots from popping out with a brute that's within four of him. Again, with the Primus, I think it works. It's just situational.
You and your
True.
Primus.
Look, I'm not if I see a Spirit of Vengeance Red Hulk, I don't want to attack him because I don't want him to activate. He's gonna have to trigger himself, and if Primus can stop it, okay. I wasted 60 points on Primus or 100 points on Primus. You wasted 125 points on Red Hulk. Let's dance.
Well, at H for H, Joe, the winner for this year's Nationals, he used Spirit of Vengeance and he fought Isaac. And Isaac had his X-Men team. So it's funny that Nationals come, Isaac is using Spirit of Vengeance. And Joe is using anti-Spirit of Vengeance with Ghost Rider, Black Panther, Kevin, whatever floats anyone's boat to be anti. And he won. See, the thing about playing a team is when you make it, you know how to beat it
Not
and find
always.
ways around it.
I'm still trying to find ways around stinking collector.
Oh, I love Collector. My H for H team was scientists. So my team was Collector at 22 defense. He had the broadsword, Captain America shield, and he had the Dream Ruby. So it makes him a 22. I had the arm demon in armor, so my opponents can amplify their attack or modify their attack. So I'm hindering you defensively with that. Also had Mr. Oz for 12 range prob anywhere on the map. So but make sure I'm gonna make you re-roll. And then I forgot the third person. I have four figures. Oh, and I had Arcana Knight, Spider-Man, and he was my
Arachnite.
Alpha Strike. Yeah, Arachnite as my Alpha Striker for charge. And it's a very fun team. And sideline, I had Mimic, I had Justice League Unlimited, Trouble Alerts. It's I wanted a team that was different.
So you play on roll 20 at all?
Hmm?
You use roll 20.
Uh, Usually I hit 20s sometimes.
No, no, no. Do you use roll 20?
Yeah, for
The
Beholder.
no, 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 no. the online gaming table where you can play HeroClix.
No, I don't use that. I'm more old school. I just put a map on and figure out what I want to do and practice shadow playing myself at times.
Oh, you're gonna
Um,
fall into Scott Crampton's trap if you're not playing competitive. Might
Yeah,
as well be
but
playing with
Scott
something
Bramlin
else.
is a very good friend of mine, and the man is very well known. He was playing the spot team, and he never left the starting area, so he was always using spot to bring you to his starting area, and then he just wails on.
I want to get back to Mark's questions because I think he's pulling this from the new Thundercats iconics that we just found out about. He wants to know what 80s or 90s cartoon you'd like to see an iconics made of.
Smurfs.
Well, I grew up in the 80s. I love Thundercats, but what I really want to see would be Silverhawks as Heroclix. That would be a fun thing to see.
That'd be
I don't
interesting.
remember the Silverhawks.
Oh, you're missing a great era. Silverhawks was always fun. Half man, half machine. They flew in space. They were space police.
Scott,
They had Hawkhaven.
I'm really intrigued by
I'm still.
the Smurfs idea. What would the Smurfs do?
Oh, I mean, each one
Just
has their own
annoy
thing, right?
everybody.
Each one has their own thing, and Gargamel's a colossal.
I don't know about that, but
Come on now, it
Um,
could be done.
I just don't understand the new design of Papa Smurf with a red beard. Just doesn't make sense to me.
Now, I don't.
But
I don't know anything about
I
that, but
haven't seen that.
that's what I'm saying. 80s and 90s cartoons, not
Yeah.
this new stuff.
Have you ever had Vegemite?
what's Vegemite?
It's a
Uh,
spread that the Australians eat, but it's a really bitter if you get a bunch of it.
No, never had it. Never been to Australia. It'd be nice one day, but it's a long
Look,
flight.
New York has everything. I don't know what you're talking about. You got Australia there.
Eh, It depends.
Just got to
I'm
find it in that big place.
Well, New York, we have a lot of great food, and it just depends what everybody likes to eat.
All right, since you're in New York, my next question is: have you ever bumped into or seen a Ninja Turtle?
At Comic Con,
No, I want to know in the streets.
no. Well, sometimes you got people cosplaying as turtles and walking the streets.
don't they have lizards in the sewers in New York?
Eh, not really.
The last community question we had was from Jay Patel. Wants to know. Sorry, my wife and daughter are cackling. What do you call a dragon without any Silva in its horde?
Okay, that's interesting. I know everyone can be a dragon, and it depends. There's times you play for fun, and then you become a dragon when another player irritates you and you show no mercy. But that's what happens with Darkseid. Every incarnation of Darkseid was always menacing, but the Master of Time one is the worst one out of all the incarnations of Darkseid.
I don't know. He's without the free barrier that he can get, or somebody giving him barrier around him. He's not. He's not that bad.
When you were
I enjoy
talking,
him.
You know,
He's talking about the 300-point Masters of Time Dark Side that could. Oh hey, you have Smurf in your name. All your Smurfs are dead.
when you were talking about modern versus Silver Age, I thought you were going to say Silver Age was your favorite because it's close to your name. The Silva Age.
The Silva Age.
no, it's more silver. It's just you get to play older characters that a lot of people turn their backs on at times, and you see how good they still are.
Yeah. I'm still teetering with a tinkering with a mini shredder team that I ran, just updating it a little bit. Mini shredder still gross, but
Well, back then,
Invincible's troublesome.
back then, I never had the shredders, so everybody was selling their soul, buying out turtles just to get all the shredders. Like a good friend of mine, Jay Majors, he abuses the hell out of shredders back then. And that was the one thing he always loved to get in your face, walk up to you,
Of
and you
course,
take a click.
that's the reason mini shredder was the best one because he could just sidestep up, or he could walk up. Somebody else sidestep back with him, and he sidesteps up again and gives you twice for one action token. Basically, it's like, oh hey, because he was tiny. So
Yeah, it's always hit or miss. It just depends on strategy. That's why I was saying Heroclix is a game of chess. With powers, just it's about knowing your opponent, learning how they play, what you can do, what you can't do, knowing your rules. That's important because sometimes people manipulate rulings to their
I feel
way
like
of
if you just
playing.
enforce your will on them, then they're gonna whoever has the stronger will win that fight. Basically, if I have the
Right.
ability to roll up on you and make you feel like, oh my god, it's too fast, you're already in a pickle, and all I did
See,
was move up.
like Grand Apocalypse. When he came out, everybody, I including me, abused him. But Apocalypse versus Chase Scarlet Witch, who's one of my favorite all-time pieces, and you create a hex marker, you are just going to be punked by her
Of
in a
course.
way that, and people just don't like that. You TK them out, you create a hex marker. What are they going to do?
So, am I wrong for thinking that Genesis is better than Apocalypse?
Genesis
Because
is,
There is no
I
wrong.
won the event. I won the event, and I picked Genesis instead of Apocalypse. And every time I look at it, I'm like, well, Apocalypse has this. Well, Apocalypse has that. Genesis has so much keyword manipulation, and she has I don't know, she can carry four. Apocalypse doesn't do that stuff. So I
true.
thought Genesis was better out of the two, and I'm gonna go on record and say I was wrong about the whatever the Scarab. I totally got that wrong. I thought he wasn't gonna
Oh,
be that
I
good.
love
No,
Scarab.
no, he kept poking me in the face from across the map. Yeah. I'm glad he retired
That
long
brings up a
ago.
good
Uh,
question. We're coming up on Worlds here in just a couple months. What is the figure you're going to miss most after rotation?
well, after rotation, the figure I'm going to miss most would be primarily from Masters of Time would be Constantine. Because
Is
Constantine
is it getting
just
cut?
says,
That shouldn't
I feel
make
like it's
you.
no,
No,
I feel like it's on the bubble.
that should be okay.
Well, I don't
no,
know
I'm
because
just
it
saying
came out before Worlds.
it's the other Constantine, the LE.
Oh,
Remember,
Oh,
there's
the
three
LE.
Constantines.
Yeah, I don't
You
keep up with
got,
that guy.
because when they remade him, they brought him back and he did the same thing. If he's on the field and you choose outwit, your opponent can use outwit or perplex. Or if you're using prob, they can't use prob or A, B, and C. So, but it's really what I tell people the figure you play is an extension of yourself. If you have a play style of being defensive, then you're going to play defensive. You're going to find cracks in anyone's armor, you beat them. But if you play overpowered or you want to play really strategically, like look at Colossus, 80 points, he mind controls you. When he's done, you take five after resolution.
He can go retire too. I don't care.
I love Colossus.
Who are you gonna miss, Wes?
Time Breakers.
They're turds too.
I love Time Breakers. They're
They're the
so
they're the Smurf.
useful.
They're the Smurfs. That they could be the Smurfs.
I'm never sure what this microphone picks up. Sometimes it picks up stuff that I didn't think it picked up, and sometimes I think stuff is super loud in the room and you guys don't hear it. But in case the microphone is picking it up, I want
I
to
don't hear
apologize
it.
for my very animated wife and daughter next room who are apparently shouting at the top of their lungs happily. I don't know
No,
what's
it's
going on.
cool.
Hey, I can't hear them, so
Okay.
all the better.
Well, it's making my ears ring.
So for retirement, I'm interested to see what happens with Cathan whenever he retires. Are they gonna unban him? Um, really like
Cthulhu,
Ghost Rider. The-
I love Cthulhu. And there's ways now that he's not really a problem when you give your character an action token because you just play Supergirl. Whenever you take a click of damage, you just heal again. So it
Oh,
could
that's
be
what I'm
an
saying.
endless loop.
How are they gonna deal with him in Silver Age? Because if he comes off the ban list, then it's just like there's so many more ways that to just give you a click of damage back or click of healing. But 48 Ghost Rider, I'll miss him. I like him. I feel like he's really good for what he does. He helps protect your team. He's not overly busted. His point value is solid, so I'm gonna miss Ghost Rider.
True.
I
I
I love
really
him as
loved
on
it.
my side. I hate facing him.
I'm cool with it.
Oh,
Bring it
I
on.
played him. He's really fun though. Just gotta find ways that makes him work for you.
And
Like everybody loves time breakers, and I'm one of those players that don't really depend on time breakers. Don't have that many of them, but it's not like I chase them to the point that I need them. It's like if I get them, I get them. But everybody is abusing them, like with the universal weapon to give this chick pulse wave multi-target. You target one, everyone else takes zero, but everyone else takes three damage.
Do you think?
From Black Panther. The
yeah, you're talking about
Yeah.
Hidari Yao. Her pulse
Yeah,
wave is just gonna give everybody 3 damage, including your friendlies. So that's the reason you're using the time breakers to get her far enough away. I
correct.
don't think I've ever really played with more than one time breaker. They're just eh.
It's a
I don't
good
know.
spot filler. Like,
Okay,
well,
they're a good 5 point filler,
yeah.
and they generate the extra ones, which is great. You can maneuver around. They are autonomous. Apparently, they're really good for Beetlejuice. But nah, I don't think I've ever really played it. Another piece that I'm going to miss, and I feel like it did not get its time to shine due to the prime slot that it's in, is the Domino. I
Yes.
really enjoy playing Domino. But my issue with her is that if you have Force Blast or Poison, you can just kill her because her stop clicks, sure, they're fine, but there's no reducer. So
I
I
love
run her
that
with the
piece so
Destroyer armor
much.
currently. Run her with that Destroyer armor, and it is like, oh, you're gonna roll great size? Here, let me roll with you. Oh, you're gonna roll super senses? Here, let me roll with you.
If she didn't
Woo.
come out in the same set as Prime Colossus, it would have been a different show.
No, she
Again,
came out with Prime Colossus.
Yeah.
he's saying if she didn't.
Yeah.
I just feel like her prime slot took a lot of her what she could do away because there's so many other better primes at the time.
Well, one
So
of my favorite primes was Mimic. He was a problem for people because he copied everything they did, like what Copycat does. But she just lesser points compared to what he was.
he's more offensive. I liked Mimic. Copycat, it's a nice 15 point dump. All right. You got another question for us, Wes? Or are we gonna
Just one for me. So you said you've been playing since the beginning of HeroClix. Have you ever taken a break from the game?
Yeah, when the game stopped, when the last set of Hammer of Thor
it was before Hammer
or
Thor.
Mighty Thor, huh?
It was before that set. That was the
Yeah,
first set back.
yeah. So I forgot what was the set after, but that's when I took a break from the game. And when the game restarted, it was a lot more interesting. The dials were different, the powers. That's when they started introducing white powers. And give me a minute.
All right, no, I'm looking to see what the last set was. I believe it was
James, open the
Asylum.
door.
Arkham Asylum was the last
I'm
set, I
on.
believe, before it retired.
Hmm?
I believe the set was Arkham Asylum was the last set before they
Yeah.
sold, tried selling and closed it down for a year.
Yeah,
So,
Arkham Asylum was a very fun set. It was very back then the villains weren't as menacing as some of them are now. It just depends. Which figures now can be readapted, like Penguin. When the 25-point Penguin everybody was abusing, and
Oh,
then they
because you
had
can
to
attack
eradicate
him.
him.
Yeah, because he was attacking. You could attack a friendly figure and do something off of that. Change his target token or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Now, so when they were in that hiatus of like, oh, Pops is closing it down, they don't want to do it, and before NECA bought it, I was actually in the process of changing venues, and we were trying to build the community up. So we were giving away our own personal collection pieces just as prizing at the events. It was me and another guy named Eduardo.
Oh, cool. Yeah, here when we were still playing, there wasn't really new prize support. It was a lot of old ones, or some people who quit the game to hand over some stuff, and people would win whatever figures that were donated. See, King's Games is a very fun venue because a lot of strong players, and it's about being the better player who you can be. It's very competitive. So it's like you're going to worlds and you want to get stronger. You want to improve.
Still
And
sharp steel.
like Antonio Clark, who won the Battle Royal at Nationals. He's a very strong player. I played him dozens of times. There's times I win, there's times he wins more than me. But I still learn from him. Every player helps you evolve, helps you improve your game. You learn through the people you face. So I
Absolutely.
tell people when you lose, you're not really losing, you're just gaining really important knowledge. Like my friend Mac, one of the best players in the world. He showed me you can beat somebody with a 30-point figure, depending on the support he has to take out a 300-point figure. You can play with a 25-point figure and you can beat a 50-point figure. It just depends if you're hitting.
Back in the
If not,
day, there was a game that I seen where it was a bunch of Destinies versus the Galactus. The Destinies at the time, Wes, had a zero attack and zero damage, but they had probability control. So if I
Mhm.
have 40 Destinies versus your Galactus, all I'm gonna do is make you re-roll until you crit miss,
True,
and
true.
then I'm gonna
Uh,
re-roll until I get a crit hit or whatever. It was a long, long game, but it worked.
yeah,
See, like,
one of my favorite teams that I've ever played was my first competitive event was almost all the War of the Realms Lokis that were you paid for one and then the rest were all 10 points and they all had prob, they all had flight, so they all carry each other around. They all had like 8 range or something, and so everything was just prob.
see, back in the day, the most abusive figure was Ultimate Thor. Ultimate
Oh, he
Thor
was so gross.
with like 10 rookies, Jean Greys, and you were just TKing him halfway across the map just to kill one figure or multi figures. So the way the game is now, if you don't buy like certain icons or like Hellfire Gala that has the gene grade that can mind control you and do A, B, and C, you're going to be going into tournaments underpowered. So it's like, what are you really going to be facing when you go to Worlds? What other variant teams? Like now you got Spot. So now what makes Spot stronger is playing Tony Stark. And Tony Stark makes Spot even 10 times worse.
I disagree. I feel like Spot works better on a Sinister Syndicate team.
Spot's universal. He works good on any team.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Moving
Salty or
along.
sweet?
Oh, yeah, okay. Good.
Salty or sweet?
So, but I feel that the set in Green Lantern, some of the super rares are underpowered, and you're going to have the chases that are going to be the stronger figures
Oh,
out of
of course.
everything.
That's
It's like
what they're
smash
going
and
for.
destroy. People
So
don't
if
care
you
for the super rares, but they care for the chases.
yeah, you have a snack in front of you right now, salty or sweet?
Snack? No, I don't have a snack on me right
No.
now.
If
That's
you had one, do you pick salty or sweet for your
that's
snacks?
sweet. Usually sweet.
So Miguel,
Go
I
ahead.
don't know how much of our show you watched before, but with every guest, we have what we call the Clix questionnaire, and it is a scientifically proven list of questions that we ask everybody that really gets to the heart and soul of the player, so the community really knows you as a player and you as a person. Are you brave enough to answer these questions?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. Uh, you're on a 12-hour car ride. You can only listen to one band or singer for the entire trip. What are you listening to? You can listen to any album, but you'll all has to be from the same person or band.
Everessence.
All right. Since you're a resident of New York, have you ever been to Avengers Tower?
Nope. Never been there. Maybe one day. But I pass by the area all the time. So
Okay.
Which Golden Girl would you date?
Ooh.
none really, but it's interesting.
What Lantern Corps would you be inducted into?
Rage.
The Red?
Yep.
If you could only play sealed or constructed HeroClix for the rest of your life, which would it be?
I would play Seal.
Thundercats versus He-Man. All out battle royal. Who wins?
He-Man.
What do you call soda in New York?
Soda.
It's not called pop?
No, just call soda.
Cake or pie?
A cake's good.
All right, so if Superman were real, would you trust him implicitly, or would you sleep with kryptonite under your pillow?
It's always good to have kryptonite if you're not sure about someone. So
All right, your bath towel. Crumple or fold?
crumple.
Which of
The
your
animal.
five senses would you be willing to lose?
That's a hard one. Sometimes smell, depending, because sometimes people just don't know how to control their hygiene. So, and if you're on the train, it's never fun.
Yeah, so since you're from New York, do you have a personal vehicle or is it just public transport or public transit?
Public transportation because I do not drive and I don't have the patience for it. And it's too expensive in New York. So
You travel to a lot of events, worlds, to H4H. Do you plan on going to Red, White, and Clicks in November?
don't have the funds for that. But one day, hopefully,
Okay.
All right, so
it'd
if you
be
have to arm
fun.
wrestle, if you have to arm wrestle Wes, who's gonna win?
I would.
Yeah, probably.
Multiple sclerosis over there.
All right. Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, Black Widow. Who would you sleep with and who would you marry?
Well, it's not like that though, but it's interesting. So,
The answer is yes. I don't even know what that. The answer is yes. All right, so what number is Wes thinking of? It's a three-digit number.
could be his area code.
I don't know his area code.
Yeah, I don't either, but I can always go with 316. But 316 is always the universal number. So,
Nope. All right, Miguel.
Yes,
That was the Clicks questionnaire. People in the community have heard your name for years. They thought they knew you, but now they really know you. How does it feel to be known by the community?
it's great. You know, I'm not like Isaac or Scott Crampton. I'm simple. I don't win big events. Maybe one day, just working hard for it. For me, accomplishing reaching top 16 in single and in teams was the highlight of my HeroClick play, So that's what I'm excited for. And I learned a lot from all my opponents. Scott Crampton, when I played him multiple times, yeah, he beats me, no doubt. Just like Aaron. Aaron's a good friend of mine. He's also one of their judges. And every H for H, first round, I end up facing him. And he pulls Godly. The first H for Ace, H4H, I went to, and I faced him. He pulled Moon Knight with Kachu. So this time, the second time, he pulls Juggernaut and Captain America. And my team
okay.
ain't that great. So it was like, yeah. And I went up to him before the match, and then I see I got posted with him. That's the first thing he puts on the board. And I'm like, really? You pulled Juggernaut and Captain America, and you just beat me up like a stepchild.
So, need to get with Aaron and see if he calls you the warm up.
Uh, Aaron is great, though, but
Yeah, he is.
it's just whenever he pulls good, I'm usually his punching bag. So it's funny.
Well, Talkn Clicks is sponsored by John Hoffner and Clicks Creator. John is a 3D printer, and he's constantly buying new 3D printers and different kinds of materials to print with. So if you need anything for HeroClix related, or just about anything really, from dice tokens to Clicks cases, he has all kinds of great stuff he can make. And if you have a new idea, shoot him an email and he will design it better than you could have ever dreamed. So give him a shout if you need something designed or printed. He'll be happy to do it, and he does it cheaper than everybody else. He'll even just do it for straight up trades for HeroClix.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah,
That's cool. I hardly trade because it's hard enough buying and getting multiples. So it's like for me, I usually buy a case, and that's what I usually stay with. Or if I get lucky and I pull good, once in a blue, I'll have like one figure. But I had a lot of bad experiences with trading everything is high value, and if you don't have the high value that they want, they don't even look at you for the trade.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's I collect the figures. I enjoy playing them, and that's what it's more for me. If it's a friend I know and he's getting into the game, usually I give him extras of common and rares, or uncommon time I have extras of, because those are the ones you pull massive amounts of, not chases or super rares.
Right.
You know, it's hard enough to buy one case. And nowadays, with inflation and pricing going up, after a while, it becomes very heavy. You got to pay your bills first before you buy a case.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, just to give a shameless plug, since I had no shame and it's my show, I can do that. I have created the Red, White, and Clix event. It's going to be an annual event in November. I have lots of swag for it. I have shirts and
Cool.
blankets and hats, all
Cool.
on. What's that?
No, it says cool.
Oh, yeah.
If you like, you can always start at other venues in other states, your own version of the red, white, and blue type tournament, and build it from there. Try to spread it to the community. So
Yep.
it'd be like Champion Clicks or Rock Cup or H for H. We need more
What the goal is.
Yep.
inventive tournaments, and hopefully Wizkids will support it. And you know, I try my best in the game. I'm not the world's best player, but I try to be, and that means more to me than trying to win
Yeah.
and try to cutthroat people. And you know, I learned you be humble and you help people. Doesn't matter if they judge you or they discriminate against you or talk behind your back. You're showing who you truly are as a person, as a human being. And it's all about enjoying the game,
Yep.
not about me buying hundreds of dollars of all meta pieces and try to win a big tournament. And what would that really get you if it has no true meaning behind it?
Right. But the Red, White, and Clicks event is all about veterans, and it's a charity event for veterans. So if you want to, I pay for it out of pocket. So if you want to help us prepare for that, if you can't make it to the event, you can go online and buy some swag. I'll post the link in the comments below. And you can also support us on Talkn Clicks through our Patreon if you like what you hear. I want to do some more things in the future, but a lot of it costs money. So if you want to support us, please do so. Do
That's
you have any?
understandable.
What's that?
I don't have Patreon. I've been that's how tight money's been. So there's times I usually just send it to the person directly
Right.
or buy a T-shirt, and I support them that way the best I can.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Money has been not as easy, but I
Yeah.
try to do a big Clicks event once a year. That's where H for H comes. I got to see a lot of people I played with back in the day when Origins was Worlds. That's when I always went to Worlds, when it was at Origins.
Right.
And then they stopped going, and I didn't like Origins changing the generic policy. And after that, it just turned me off from going to Origins, because you have a barcode with the money you put on it and it gets destroyed. You just lost that 30 or $40 investment to play clicks. I lost money because they didn't have their scheduling with Wizkids the way they put it online. So if you get there a minute late, you just lost 30 or $40.
Yeah. Um, Well, Miguel, it's been awesome talking to you, man. I love meeting new people all the time, and I've heard your name a lot, but I've never actually been able to meet you in person. So this is really great for me.
Me too.
As we wrap it up tonight, do you have any final thoughts for the community?
My final thoughts is don't judge each other. Always be true to who you are. You don't have to be the world's strongest player to enjoy a game that helps you improve. I tell people if the people can't bring the best out of you, then what's the point of having them around? And for me, playing, making friends, that's what makes me a better player, even if I don't always win or always top. So all all I can really say, if you're true to yourself, you'll see people noticing you for who you are. And sorry about the background noise. That's my brother and my good friend Harley. So, but you know, I learn from people. Making new friends is always the best thing. And, you know, you try and not roll a critical miss, but you roll critical hits, always more fun that way.
Yep.
Depends on
Well
which side
said.
of it you're on.
Huh?
It depends on which side of that crit hit you're on. What about you, Wes? You got a
True.
final thought today?
I just wanted to say thank you to the community. I made a Facebook post the other day saying I was kind of down, having a rough time, and I received a lot of messages just checking on me and wishing me well. So I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
This
We had a
game, this
nice 45
community
minute
is
conversation.
what's that?
We had a nice 40-minute conversation that day.
Yeah. Now this community in this game is a big part of my mental health as far as it gives me motivation, makes me happy, gives me something to think about when my brain is thinking about things that shouldn't be thinking about. So, but thank you so much for everybody that reached out. It's just one of those things. Life got me down for a minute, but I'll be all right. So thank you very much. Yeah, anything
Uh,
else, Scott?
life is life is never easy because yesterday was my grandmother's passing multiple years ago, and then 5 months after that, I lost my mom, and a year later, lost my dad. But in 1995, I lost my fiance and my first child, and all my friends have kids, and that's a burden I live with because I never had a chance to see my son grow up or hear him cry. The last time I saw my fiance was October 16th. Last time I saw her, kissed her, told her I loved her, heard her saying she'll be happy for him to be out of her. And that was the last time I saw her. Got home around midnight. I ended up getting the call that I lost her and my son. So that's a burden I live with. And Heroclix helps me with that type of mental uncertain, best term, uncertain. Uh, the best way to pronounce it, it helps control the issue of you blaming yourself or you feeling like you're the cause of her not being here anymore. So that's what I live with every day. And it's a burden. And, I always think of her. I post pictures of her and my son. His name is John Benny Michael Silva. And I never got to hold him or have him here so I can introduce him to the game. So it's always good to go to tournaments, make friends, because they make you forget your problems. That's the best way of handling mental health, you know? So wasn't trying to make anyone feel sorry or it's just I understand the struggles.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks
you
for
know,
sharing that with us.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
no problem. No problem, so. It's always a pleasure. And, I'm going to be playing at J Major's Championship Clix Tropical Tournament July 19th. Hopefully I'll see some of the players I know there. I'm going for my best friend's wedding in Toledo, Ohio. And I have friends in Columbus. So I'm staying in Columbus. Go for a day to Toledo for the wedding and for the rest of the week hang out in Columbus. So, if you're looking for good figures or you need hookups, J Major is a very good and respected fellow HeroClix player and vendor. So giving him his shout out.
Yeah, awesome.
Nice. All right. So my final thought is don't be a cotton-headed ninny-muggin.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here tonight. Miguel, it is lovely to meet you. Scott,
Same.
as always, you're the best. You are the onion of life, many layers.
Yeah. Yes, I'm an
Well,
ogre.
it's
No, like
always
when.
fun. And always support your venue and always make sure your judge is always great, happy, and it's always good to ruffle his feathers at times with some rules. But it's fun.
Yes, it is.
All right, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And as always, keep on Clixing. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Did you feel like heaven? Did you ring like silver in the wasted light? Still, I'm trying to find. Did you sink through the battle cold? Did you ring like silver in the wasted light? Still, I'm trying to find. Saw it beneath your eyes. It's funny that I think of you right now.